I'm here in Tokyo at the World Travel and Tourism Council Summit with Mr. Paul Griffiths, who's the CEO of Dubai Airports. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
Well, I guess you can't travel around internationally nowadays without going through Dubai. There used to be the old joke for Americans, you know, related to Delta. You can't go to heaven without going through Atlanta or something. But that's unbelievable success, and you're growing, continue to grow. Please share with our audience where Dubai Airports came from, and it's fairly new, and you have some new a new airport opening soon, don't you?
Sure, yeah. Well, the Dubai aviation story started in 1960 when the airport was formed. And we're one of the only companies, I think, in the world that can claim that we've had 15.5% compound annual growth rate as an average ever since. In fact, our traffic has doubled since 2005. And in the year ended 2011, we had something like 51 million people travelling through our airports, 60% of them roughly connecting on somewhere else. So we've taken the old Atlanta model that was championed by Delta, and we've applied it internationally. So we now host to 150 airlines and about 220 destinations worldwide through Dubai. So it is a global phenomenon now.
Where will we see the growth continue to be 10 years from now? Double again?
Well, I think it's quite possible. We are currently the 4th largest airport in the world, but by 2019 we expect to have something like 90 million passengers, which is significantly larger than the world's largest international airport, which is London Heathrow at the moment. So we expect by 2016 to be in the #1 spot, and the growth is mostly facilitated by our 2 very fast-growing home-based carriers, Emirates and Fly Dubai. So we're set, I think, to see a continuation of that very strong growth for quite some time to come.
And I was reading about some of your accomplishments related to reducing climate change or gas emissions with savings in energy use, waste, and so forth. And somewhere was something about 72,000 tons of saving.
That's right. There's a number of sustainability initiatives. We're probably quite fortunate compared to other places that there's an abundance of solar energy that we can capture. And some of our designs for our future airport buildings will embrace solar energy and other forms of energy-saving devices to make sure that our carbon footprint is significantly reduced. Having said that, of course, one of our biggest draws on electrical energy is air conditioning in the heat of the sun. So that's another thing that we're working on, ways to cut down the use of energy. Recently we've actually been able to save significant amounts of energy just by doing some fairly basic things like changing to low energy light bulbs and various other measures like recycling waste. And we do hope to continue to embrace a lot of new technology to help sustainability in the airport in the future.
Tell us a little bit about the recently opened Dubai World Central.
Sure. The airport opened for cargo traffic just over 2 years ago, and what we are doing is expanding the airport somewhat slowly but very steadily, and it will be a very, very significant cargo and logistics hub, and ultimately will be the home for the world's largest airport when completed, probably by about the middle of the next decade. We expect to host something like 80 million passengers and then grow to the ultimate capacity of the airport, which will be something like 160 million passengers and 12 million tons of freight sometime by the end of the 2020s.
And just popped my mind, I don't know who owns Dubai Airports.
Well, Dubai Airports is a government-owned company, but functions as a purely commercial organisation, as do most of the other entities in Dubai. and the government is making a significant amount of investment in the sector because it is now 28% of the total GDP and contributes something like 19% of all jobs in Dubai, and is responsible for something like $22 billion in annual contribution to Dubai's economy. So it's an incredibly important sector.
All right. How many employees? I think I read a number that was just unbelievable.
Well, 3,800 is the number of direct employees employed by the airport, but we think that the total number of jobs that are either directly reliant on the sector or would not exist without the sector being so strong is something like 250,000. So it's a significant contributor to the wealth creation and the social structure of Dubai.
I was a little surprised to hear that only 60% of your traffic connects, i.e. 40% is overnighting, I suppose, in Dubai.
Well, what's happening is that actually Dubai has grown hand in hand with the transfer market as a really desirable destination. It's a very high quality destination. It's got a lot of very good hotels, modern bed stock of good quality and competitively priced. And now what's been happening is, because its proximity to so many major population centres, it is actually establishing itself as a destination of choice for both tourism and for commerce.
Paul Griffith, CEO of Dubai Airports, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.